Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Canadian Women of the Outdoors podcast. Episode 1 went really well. We ended up getting a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people reached out to me saying how much they enjoyed it. I had actually some businesses reach out that wanted to partner for future giveaways. I had people reach out that wanted to be on it and talk about their experiences. So great first episode. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. And now we're going to be back for episode 2. And episode 2, we have a very special lady. I've known her for a number of years now. She's become a great friend. We've been on quite the adventures together. We've had death-defying moments where we weren't sure if we were going to make it or not in some Northern Ontario regions. Please welcome the owner and founder of the Canadian Sportswoman Society, Miss Lori-Anne Horst.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me out.
Just surviving, trying to beat this cold, but it's not kicking. But thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking out your Monday night to come chat with me for a bit.
Oh, absolutely. It was an honor to be asked to be on your show. So hopefully I can keep up with the first show.
I'm sure you will. You're an awesome human. We all know that. So.
Oh, thank you.
So we're gonna start with an easy question, just super easy. I mean, so like me, you're born bred in the Hamilton, Ontario, GTA. Not much hunting and fishing down there. So really, what got you into hunting, fishing, outdoor loving, like that kind of stuff?
So honestly, I've always enjoyed the outdoors. I've always been immersed in it. I essentially grew up camping right from, I think, 2 weeks old. My mom and dad started taking me camping with them, and they never stopped. And honestly, my love for the outdoors just kind of grew from there. I was later I was 24 when I got my hunting license. I was about 8 months pregnant with my son Noah about 15 years ago. So I legit was barefoot and pregnant when I got my hunting license because I couldn't wear shoes or sandals at the time because my feet were swollen. So yeah, I legit was barefoot pregnant in the hunting course, doing it, got my hunting course, passed it, and it was probably about a year after I gave birth that I really started to get into hunting more seriously once Noah was a little bit older. So yeah, ever since then, the last 14 years I've been hunting.
What did your instructor say when you showed up barefoot and pregnant? Was he like, good for you?
Yeah. Well, it was a husband and wife duo, and they were just like, yes, we need more people like you. And I'm like, you don't know me well enough to say that yet.
Oh my God.
I'll either make or break the world. I don't know yet.
Oh my God. First of all, I also can't believe that Noah's 15. That just threw me right there.
I know.
Oh my goodness. And so what did you start hunting? Like when you got your hunting license, did you go right into like big game, or did you start small, or how'd you go about that?
I definitely started small with birds. So I started with turkey, and then we migrated into waterfowl hunting, but we weren't like huge into waterfowl hunting like we are now. We just kind of like dabbled with it, but turkey hunting for sure. I got to experience pheasant hunting that year as well. Me and Steve took our dads, I think it was for their Christmas present. We got them, we went down to Exeter Game Farm to do a pheasant hunt. And I was like, I love this. Like, I just love, bird hunting. And then over the years, we just got more serious into hunting, a little bit of everything. I went out deer hunting for the first time. It took, I want to say 3 or 4 years before I actually successfully harvested a deer, because we party hunt up here. Like, we have the capability of rifle hunting up here, so we're really lucky. this year was probably our biggest year. We had 9 people in our group because, our sons are starting to come out now. So it really grew from, there used to be 6 of us, or 5 of us, and now there's, 9 of us.
Wow, that's awesome. But
Yeah.
so the pheasant hunting, that's really that sounds like you really got into it from the pheasant hunting, just like that kind of challenge of hitting like a moving animal type thing.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I would say prepare you for waterfowl season because it is a bird that's going to flush, so it's going to go up and away from you, or sometimes it comes up and like over you or flies into your face. So it's definitely helps with that whole hand-eye coordination thing, and definitely like with the wing shooting. It definitely does prepare you for waterfowl season.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, now that easy question's out of the way. Next question. Canadian Sportswoman Society. How long's that been? That's been quite a few years now. You're on what? Year 6, 7, 8?
7.
You're on 7. I knew it was 6,
Year
7, 8.
7.
One of the two. That's crazy. What got you started in that? Because like you said, you're a late hunter. You didn't start hunting till you were 24, 25. So what kind of made you get into creating this amazing opportunity, like this program thing for women?
So I originally started CSS because there was such a need to help ladies get into shooting sports and the outdoors. And that kind of transformed into helping ladies and, the youth. And then now we've kind of gone full circle, and now not only are we helping ladies, but we're helping like their whole family. And there's a lot of guys that also now need the same help and guidance that the ladies did at the beginning. So there's definitely a disconnect in the generational acceptance of hunting. So some guys don't have buddies that hunt, or they do, but they don't feel comfortable asking to learn the ropes from them because they don't want to be, hazed or, given a hard time, or their friends and family don't hunt, or they have no experience, or they don't have the opportunities, to go on to different land or experience things. I would say, honestly, it's ever changing. Like I said, we first started off because I didn't have anybody helping me, even though my dad hunted and fished, and my mom had her license, but she didn't really hunt. She fished quite a bit, like when we were growing up, but she didn't really start hunting until they were living up here. It was kind of just like the old boys club.
Yeah.
It was just like my dad, his brothers, hanging out at my uncle's for the week. And then as I got older and more interested in it, it wasn't until I met Steve and his family that they're like, yeah, of course you can come along and see how we do this. And so it was all like all those things kind of got thrown into the melting pot, and me seeing, once I hunted for a few years, me seeing that there's still such a need for ladies to be like, oh, I wish that's something I could do. And I'm like, well, absolutely it is. Like, let's go. Let's help each other.
Yeah.
And then it, not only ladies and the youth and now guys too. So we do a ton of co-ed events too. So equal opportunists.
And I mean, well, that's how we met too. I attended one of your events because, again, like as a woman myself, I was just getting into hunting and fishing, and I have to credit you because you are part of the reason why I have become the hunter I am now, through your events, through your mentorship to me, like calling, like just attending your events. You have helped me grow and expand my knowledge. You are just an amazing human for that. CSS has done wonders. Like even just like the fishing event, like I'd never been ice fishing with women before, but the first event there was 8 of us. We went ice fishing, and then it's just grown from there. Like, and you put on like how many events do you do in a year now? Because when we talked last, you were busy until like March.
Yeah. So when I first started CSS, I did 4 events in a year, which was lots. That was perfect. You know, we had a waterfowl event. We had the turkey event. We did a few other things, and it was perfect. It was great. But the need for more was definitely there. So last year, we did. So it's so funny. So the first year we started 4 events for the year, and that was tons.
What were those 4 events?
So they were the intro to waterfowl hunting. Mm-hmm. It was the intro to turkey hunting. We also did normally a fishing charter, ice fishing trip, and like a fishing charter.
Okay.
And that was pretty well kind of it. Last year, we were up to 24 events.
Oh my
And then this year, Jamie and I sat down and we're like, okay, we have to cut some of these out. Oh, it wasn't a fishing charter. It was the youth squirrel hunting tournament.
Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, Jamie and I sat down and we're like, okay, we have to cut some of these out. Like, it's too much for 2 people to do. Like, we could do something every weekend. Like, that's how much of a need there is to do these events, that we could legit run 52 in a year. Well, and it would be.
And your events sell out like pretty quick. Like they go, like people sign up super fast. Like,
well, we've been really lucky. You know, we offer quality products, hands-on experience, and we're not out to make money. So, you know what I mean? I essentially find out how much it's all going to cost, divide it equally about from whatever X amount of people, and that's the cost.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not making a profit on it. You're just doing it to...
No, it's covering costs. It's not like I'm trying to, you know, it be my job or anything like that. Like, this is legit my passion project. Mm-hmm. And CSS wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for, like, I would still be using pen and paper and like a bare minimum basic website if it wasn't for Jamie turning it, you know, like, Lori-Anne, you need to upgrade the website. You need to, you know, get with the program. I'm not techie. She's very techie. So thank God for that.
Well, and she puts up with
my thousands of questions.
You do have like a handful of people that do help you out too. Like, again, you have like Jamie, and then like Regan and Steve have helped you out with your waterfowl events. Like Dave Palmer. Yeah. Like, I've helped you out.
Yeah, I definitely have my core group of people who help, but like Jamie, when it comes to like bringing it to the 21st or 22nd century, Jamie is my right-hand woman. And obviously, you know, I have Steve. I'm sure he regrets getting me into hunting now, because there's oftentimes I'm gone away hunting and he's, you know, parenting. We definitely switched some of those roles. But it's so fun. It's so worth it. And just being able to help other people is a huge, like, pat on the back for me. And I don't want to say I do it for selfish reasons, but being able to know the fact that I'm helping people gain experience, have that hands-on learning, that's why I do it. I do it for the fun, honestly. I do it to see the smiles on the people's faces. I do it for the, you know, thank you so much for organizing this, or, you know, thank you so much for doing something like this. I've been looking for something like this for so long. Really appreciate you putting this on. And I just, honestly, I love it. I do it for the good girl.
And again, like, it's the one Amanda, who I know from the Hammer as well. Like, she is met her last year at ice fishing, and now she's come to how many of your events since then? Like, you just, like, you bring all these people together, and then you end up forming like lifelong bonds with a lot of these friends that you go on these ice fishing trips or these fishing trips or these hunting trips with. Like, when I first met you, again, and now look where we are now. We just got back from Punisher Camp, where, thank you for the shout out on the podcast, by the way. I heard it. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, if you can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
I was hey, you all went to bed. I was keeping up with the yank. So Emma, yeah, we got to have her on here sometime and chat with her about her experience Canadian hunting.
All the Canadian snacks we gave her.
Oh, I still don't understand the fascination with ketchup chips. I never will. Never will.
I mean, what do you mean? They're delicious.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of ketchup to begin with, so that's
blasphemy.
Just I'm not Canadian, I guess.
Apparently not.
So circling back, so for 2024, how many events do you have on the go for 2024? What kind of events you got going on for 2024?
Oh, okay. So let's start with January. So January,
is there any room for people listening? Again, it's your Facebook is the best place to follow for event information, right? If people want to sign up for events and stuff.
I honestly would say check the website. So we have a newly done up website that you can sign up and register for all the events on there. It has a list of things that are coming up that whether you can register for them right away or not. And that's and then second is definitely Facebook page, Instagram. There's 3 different places that you can check for all of our upcoming events. We're going to be doing like mass emails for the people who are following and are subscribed to the website. So that is coming soon. We're just working on that. Like I said, we're essentially a 2-woman show, doing all the background stuff, and Jamie works like 18,000 jobs, so she only has so much time, so much time in a day to do that stuff. But as for our events for 2024, coming soon will be registration for possibly the Canada-wide Coyote Tournament, and that normally runs all of January. We also have the ladies ice fishing trip at the end of January. I think that one's already sold out. February, we will be doing a sausage making course, and we also
that's
have
exciting. Food.
Yes, exactly. We also then have the co-ed ice fishing trip. I think there's one spot left for that. That's it.
Gosh.
March, we have the Toronto Sportsman Show, which, we're down there in Toronto all the way from the Wednesday to the Sunday. Wednesday is setup day, so the show is the Thursday to the Sunday. April, we normally do the intro to turkey hunting, and we try and keep it around 20 to 25 people. It just flows through a lot better. I think we're going to be doing it in Midland again this year because they've been amazing.
I heard nothing but good things about it last year. Like Caitlin went and she loved it. Yes. So.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, because people get a chance to like shoot firearms, like the shotguns, and then they also then get to shoot the bows. They get to learn a lot about calling. Like shout out to Joe Costanza for being an awesome teacher that way. His daughter normally comes, Natalie, with him to help out and really appreciate it. This year we had Nathan and Emily help out for the hunting scenarios, and people really loved how interactive they were with them. So, it's all info like that sticks and resonates with people.
Well, yeah, and that's the nice thing about those seminars is all the knowledge you get from like different people too.
Exactly. And then that's April. And then May, we normally I try and have like 1 or 2 people come up for turkey hunting. June is normally pretty quiet. We try and do maybe like a little fishing trip or a little fishing thing like that. We actually, this June, we have the ladies trip, which is already sold out.
Yeah, I'm on it.
I couldn't believe it. I can't believe how, like, it blows my mind that.
Because you're offering something that is not really offered. Like, you get these women and you're offering, like, it's a cottage on a lake and there's fishing, and I'm sure most of us have our boater's license, or like at least however many boats there are, there's probably enough people that have their boater's license that 2 or 3 girls can go to a boat and somebody can drive it, type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and plus we'll have, like, we're going to bring up our kayaks and stuff, like the CSS kayak. So even if you're not wanting to be in a boat, you can be out there in the kayak and just, I know there's a waterfall nearby. So like there's all things that you can see right there on the water.
Yeah.
That's June. And then July and August are normally pretty chill. We do try and do either a fishing charter on Erie, Lake Ontario, or Lake Huron. Probably going to do Erie for sure, because we just have a blast down there fishing for walleye. And then probably Huron, but we may also throw a Lake Ontario trip in there, because friends of ours is going to be starting offering charters this year. So definitely going to help. Yeah, definitely going to help them out, get some business. Where are we? July, August. Either in July or August, we'll also do the intro to, or the infield waterfowl event.
I was going to ask if you were going to do that again.
Probably. Yeah. Because, same thing. There's such a need for just even warming up your skills, right? Just getting back into shooting. That's August. And then there's also the Grimsby Ducks Unlimited, like, outdoor festival that they do. I don't know if a lot of people have gotten a chance to go to that, but it's definitely worth it. It's a great time. And then that brings us to September. So we normally go to TACCOM to help out at the Odell Engineering, the Canuck booth. And then this year, we also helped out at the Long Point Waterfowl Association. They hosted like a blind dressing day. So everybody kind of pairs up and you go out and you help redress all the blinds out in the unit, in their hunting unit that they have down there. I think there's like 60 blinds in the unit. Crap. Yeah, wow. So everybody kind of signs up to do like 3 or 4, 2 or 3 blinds, and you go out and you help, hide them as best as possible. Yeah. And then after that, we went to the Long Point Waterfowl Association dinner, which had an absolute riot.
You were there. Of course, it was a riot.
Yeah, it was held in Port Rowan at the community hall, or the community center, and it was so much fun. You get a chance to go, honestly, go. It's so worth it. It's so much fun. And then obviously September, we also start waterfowl hunting. That brings us to October. The whole month of October is the youth squirrel hunting tournament. And then we also try and do like a ladies waterfowl weekend, and or a hunt, and then a co-ed waterfowl hunt as well. We also did our pheasant hunting, our ladies pheasant hunting event, and our co-ed pheasant hunting event in October this year too. I don't know if we had a free weekend in October. I don't think we did, because then we did the Punisher weekend, and it was awesome because I actually got to be a participant instead of an organizer.
You didn't have to worry about planning. You just showed up, and
I just showed up and shot
got
some
to party
stuff
and
had a good time.
Fun. Yeah,
I didn't have to be an adult. It was awesome.
No, and you took care of the Yankee. You got to room with the Yankee.
Honestly, she was self-sufficient. We didn't spend that much time in our room. We legit, our room was for passing out, and then all of a sudden we're like, it's time to go hunting. Yay!
So, she killed me though. We were talking about it. She told me a story. She's like, so LA actually pulled out facts that she had Googled about Utah.
I did.
And apparently she didn't even know half the facts that you were talking about. She's like, I didn't know.
I felt overprepared. That is for sure. I was like trying to like look up some interesting facts about Utah because then I could like, have common ground with her and be like, well, so I learned about this. And she's like, oh. So I don't know if she was like, who is this weirdo that I am sharing a room with? I need an adult.
But so this is the thing we love about you is that you take that time and effort to make people feel welcome and accommodating. And you are just such an awesome human, especially again, you sounds like you are going from January to December, no end, between your own hunting and then running your events.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it. In the background of my mind, I'm trying to think.
And then we throw all the other things. And then you throw random friend hangouts in there from time to time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like you guys all become like hunting widows for like from September until December.
Yeah.
They're like, can we hang out? I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm away hunting.
or it's just like, well, do you want to come with me? Like we've turkey hunted together, we've waterfowl hunted together, so it's just
exactly.
But that's our hangout. It's like, okay, this is how we're hanging out. There's no other choice. Now,
exactly.
Talking about your co-ed events, when you're running these co-ed events, have you ever faced any challenges with some of the gentlemen that showed up? Like, have gentlemen signed up thinking it's something and then show up and they're like, oh, it's women? Because there is still that stigma, like, women, women, should they really be doing this? Like, I mean, it's something we're probably never gonna get over, but
yeah, and I get it to a point. Definitely in the beginning, when I first started doing, especially the waterfowl event, there's a lot of gentlemen who, I shouldn't say a lot of gentlemen, there was a certain group, a certain demographic of gentlemen who had a hard time with seeing a woman in charge, let alone a woman in charge of an event that guys were also participating in, especially when it comes to hunting information. Luckily, I was shooting really well that day because the one gentleman. Well, it's important for the story. So the gentleman in question, he was being cocky and, do you even know how to shoot? Like, can you even hit anything? And I'm just like, okay, sir. I'm like, you pick the gun I'm going to use. And he's like, what? I'm like, you pick the shotgun. I'll pick whatever one. I haven't shot anything yet today. So you pick the gun I'm going to use. And he's like, okay, this one. I'm like, perfect. You pick whatever. He's like, I'll use mine. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, so you're going to call pull. And as soon as you call pull, it's free game. Whoever hits it first, that's the winner. So now there's like a whole station of people. So there's like 5 to 7 people at this station watching now because this gentleman is like, I'll show her. It's like, okay, cool. So I'm like saying a silent prayer and I'm like, please let me outshoot this man at this moment. So that way I can be like, in your face type thing. And he called pull. He didn't shoot right away. I shot. It exploded. I'm like, were you not ready? Do you want to try it one more time? And it was so hard for me to keep a straight face that way because I'm not normally like a ha 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 person. But I was like, you know what? Sometimes there are some people who need that moment of, stay humble, sit down for a moment, So then same thing, he called pull again, boom, got onto it right away. And he was like, oh, and I'm like, any other questions, sir? And he's like, nope, I'm ready for the station to start. I'm like, okay, excellent. Carry on, everybody. And honestly, after that, I really can't complain. Most of the gentlemen that do sign up for our co-ed events are super receptive and they really want to learn. Okay. It's been really refreshing. Like even the kids that we have that come out, they're like sponges. They just want to absorb everything.
Well, and I mean, well, yeah, kids definitely just want to absorb all the info because they just want to get out and do it. And
Yeah.
kids, they're kind of innocent. They don't know, well, they don't know any better. They're just like, yeah, hunting, fishing, yay. Like,
Yeah.
they don't care where it
Exactly.
comes from. Like, so, and that's awesome. And it's awesome that you're offering the co-ed events now as well, because again, when you said you started, it was just women, but there is still men and young gentlemen or
Yeah.
even older gentlemen that haven't had the opportunity, or like
Hmm.
dads, grandpas, uncles, or even family members in general that have hunted, fished, like, and it's just great that you're offering that opportunity for them to come out and learn, and then they can be out on their own. Like,
Exactly. We're essentially the stepping stone to help them and, build up their confidence in the fields, whether it's in the fields or on the lakes or whatever. A lot of times we help them get over that. I don't really know what to do. I have my hunting license, but how am I supposed to go out with these other people? But I've never done it, so maybe I shouldn't go. It's like, no, of course, come along. Like,
yep,
we'll help you.
yep,
There's, lots of people. Every event we've done, we've had this year. We've been really lucky. Most of the people that have come out this year has been their first time. It's been their first time, hunting waterfowl or pheasant or other things. They've never done it before, and I'm just like, yes, this is perfect. Like, this is the goal,
yep.
to help as many people as possible.
Well, and that's like my, again, coming back to you helping me. I went to your intro to turkey hunting event.
Hmm.
You actually took me on my first turkey hunt, where I got the crap scared out of me from hearing a turkey gobble, and you almost got attacked by a raccoon.
Yes.
Um, but now, like, what, 4 or 5 years down the line, I feel confident, and I've sat by myself for turkey,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen hens, so it's
Yeah.
just going from where I was, like, literally just not knowing anything, attending your intro to turkey multiple times, learning, and then hunting with you multiple times. And then now I'm like I feel confident sitting on my own. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
to have anybody. It's just like, hey, I mean, you and I have hunted turkey again since then, but it's just like,
Hmm.
I don't need, it's fun, but I can
Yeah.
go out and sit. If I have a morning off, you know what, I'll go sit for turkey by myself. It's fine. So it's just, it's
Exactly.
nice that you, and like, it's so, like, you, and it's not only like you show these, like, show everything. You have amazing sponsors that provide calls, and you have these little goodie bags where people will come out with like calls and just swag and stuff like that to help them. Like, you have
Hmm.
such a plethora of people behind you. It's incredible. It's incredible.
That's such a good word. Good for you.
Plethora? I know. Wow.
Yeah. It's a
I'm
cornucopia of activity.
I'm edumacated.
Yeah.
Edumacated. Okay. Deer season. Okay. You said you
Yeah.
got 9 deer this year?
Yes. So this year, there was 9 of us out hunting.
And you party
So it
hunt, you
was
said, right?
we do, yes. So essentially, what that means is we're all within a couple of kilometers of each other, and there was 9 of us spread out on six different farms. I want to
Wow.
say that we were on 6 different farms. Yeah, and so yes, we party hunt. So the first day, Monday, we ended up with 4 deer. So we're like, okay, this is off to a good start. It's already Monday and we have 4. Tuesday, I want to say it was either Tuesday or Wednesday. We didn't end up with any extra, and we're just like, oh, like maybe this is not a good. I think it was Tuesday. We didn't end up with any extra deer, and we're like, oh, this is not good. Especially because we pushed a couple of bushes, and we didn't end up. They didn't end up producing anything. We're like, that is not a good sign.
Okay,
Like these
so
are.
time out. When you
Yeah.
say push, do you just because I'm new to party hunting, when I've sat for
Mhm.
deer, it's literally just I'm sitting and that's it. So when you say push, like what does that mean? You're pushing the deer?
Yes, essentially we're driving the deer. Well, okay, so let me do this.
So for
So
those
let's
watching
say,
YouTube,
yeah. So let's
Lori-Anne
say
has
that
something out right now. I can't tell what it is.
it's a tablet. So
Okay.
let's say that this tablet is the property that we're going to push. So if we're all going to start here, we would have a blocker, so somebody out in the field like here, and somebody out in the field here, where they can see each other, so they know that they're not going to shoot in that direction. And then
Okay.
the rest of us would line out, spaced equally down here, and we have our radios with us.
Okay, you do
So
have
that
radio, so you are
we
in
do have,
communication. Okay.
yes, we do have radios going on, and we would once the blockers let us know that they're ready, we would, you turn your scopes way down to like 2, or you take shotguns in with you, and you proceed to start walking into the bush until the end of that block, essentially. So once you start walking in, normally it doesn't take long before the deer, if there are deer in there, to come out into either side of, the field, where they can be hopefully harvested successfully from our blockers.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just walk through and hope that you're pushing the deer out to our blockers. And we were able to get one of our deer on Monday, was a deer that had been pushed out to Steve's cousin. So we were lucky that way. Yeah, I think it was Tuesday we didn't end up with anything extra. Wednesday, Tuesday, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did we get another couple deer on Wednesday? And then I think we had 2 tags. So come Thursday morning, we still had 3 tags to fill.
Okay.
It was Thursday morning. I think Regan harvested a funky little 4 nub buck. And then that afternoon or that evening, Regan, I think, got a doe. And then I filled the last tag with just like a doe fawn. So we were done Thursday evening. Like, we were all done processing.
And had 9.
Had 9. Everything was hanging up, rinsed out, peeled, and put in the cooler. And then we
So
cut up on Saturday.
so is that you, Steve, and Noah having a deer?
Essentially, that's the way that it worked out this year. So normally what we do is whoever's there on the days that the deer are harvested gets a cut
Okay.
of it. But because there was all 9 tags got filled, we did divide the cuts equally between the 9 of us.
Okay.
So this year, between me, Steve, and Noah, between just the trim that we brought home and then other cuts that we decided whether we were keeping a roast or, trimming it back down to go into grind piles or whatever, I think we were close to I think it was close to like 122 pounds of for grind. So that's
Just for
100
grind.
just for grind.
And did you keep like backstrap and cuts and everything like that?
Yes.
Like
Yep. So we have tenderloins, back straps. We even cut some up into stewing meat. We kept some roast. We kept some of the shanks to do some like ossobuco, stuff like that. Yeah.
and Steve literally uses everything.
Yeah.
Do you guys buy meat from a grocery store anymore?
Chicken the odd time, and like thin cut, like thin sliced bacon.
Other than
So
that,
yeah,
it's just
yes. but not as often. Or like brisket. So honestly, what we do now that like barbecue season is done, Steve really likes getting briskets, and we'll
Okay.
grind those up sometimes, and that's what we'll use to mix. Sometimes instead of pork, we'll use ground brisket,
Okay. And
depending on the
like,
price.
and he like his Instagram and everything is just
Yeah.
that man can cook.
Yeah. Nobody's leaving the table hungry. That is for
Oh
sure.
no,
Yeah.
no. And like I seen the stuffed waffles the other night.
Yeah, last night, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that man. He needs to come up
Yeah.
with a cookbook or something soon because he
Well, hopefully you'll see it at the Toronto Sportsman Show.
CSS cookbook featuring Steve Horst with
No.
all this
It'll be a Steve Horst cookbook, that is for sure.
with all that so okay, so what is your favorite thing that he makes with
Ooh.
anything between all the goose, deer, because you guys have goose. I know you guys have goose and
Yeah.
you guys have everything. So what's
Everything right
your
now, yeah. Ooh, I would honestly say my probably, if I could have it at least once or twice a week, would be a venison cheddar roll.
the venison cheddar roll that he makes? I haven't had that
Yeah,
yet. How come he
it's
hasn't fed
so
it to me
good.
yet?
Maybe he doesn't think you can handle it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's fed me
Honestly,
on.
yeah. It's one of probably the most simple dish that he makes, but it's just such like a soul food
Yeah,
type meal for me that I'm just like, yes, like it just,
and
brings back childhood memory type things, and I'm just like, this is perfect.
it's funny because he literally does like a bunch of ethnic cuisine too. Like he's all
Yeah.
over. Like he's Eastern European like myself, and like we're both like we both experiment with all the ethnic
Yeah.
cuisine. And it's funny because like all that's delicious, but your favorite is just a venison cheddar roll.
I know. He works so hard, and like we'll make like an African peanut soup with like pheasant or all these things, or Polish delicacies, or like German things, and I'm just like, can I have a venison cheddar roll, please?
Right?
Or
And I mean,
smoked goose nachos, like oh yeah.
Caitlin, anytime I smoke or do anything like that, Caitlin loves the pulled goose or pulled
Hmm.
moose or whatever. I've decided she loves nachos are just her thing. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I'm like, I want to cook like a traditional German roulade, and she's like, can I have nachos? And I'm like, cool, cool, sure. Like,
uh yeah.
so
I
I
get it.
feel his pain. I feel his pain. But he nothing goes to waste there. It's like because you guys use like everything though. Like you the legs too. Like you guys introduced me to
Yeah,
legs.
like
Goose legs, I was not a fan of until you
yeah.
guys introduced me to them, and I was like, well, I need to use more of that.
Well, honestly, I even find like they're better flavor even than just like the goose breasts. Like there's so much meat on the legs than there, and it's just, yeah, for the amount of people who waste so much. And there are people who end up using more than even Steve and I. Like, for example, Jamie, she keeps I call it the hearts, lizards, and gizzards, because she keeps the livers, the
Yeah.
gizzards. She does, like, she takes it that step further.
Yeah.
If we have time, like, she'll even harvest and keep some of the goose fat, you know what I
Okay.
mean, and render
Yeah.
that down. It's just, she
Yeah.
takes it that extra step.
See, I do love hearts. I need to learn how to harvest the hearts. That's the thing. I love all hearts. But that's the European in me. We love gross stuff.
Yes, you guys do. Like head
Yeah.
cheese and
Head
beef
cheese.
wash.
Um my grandma, my babcia used to make Zimnonogi, which was pig's feet, jellied pig's feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite the entertaining dish. Terrible.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
All right, so we're actually coming to the end here. So last question for you.
Okay.
What everyone always says, just get out there. That's their like advice or whatever.
Oh,
Other than get out there, what is your like advice, trade secret for the new hunter, for somebody that is new into hunting, fishing, like anything, like other than just get out there, what is your advice?
honestly, join your local Ducks Unlimited or Delta groups. Um, Great way. It's an awesome and great, easy way to meet other hunters or fishermen in your area. I would definitely say it's never too late to start. If you wanted to, you would. That's the other thing is if you wanted to learn something, you will. If you want to get more into hunting or fishing, you will. It just takes putting yourself out there and doing it through these groups will definitely help. Um, Also, join as many groups, whether it's on Facebook or whatever, as you can. Most times, good hunters or good fishers will offer you that help. If you put a post on there and be like, hey, new into this, I'd love to try it. Anybody have any recommendations? Obviously, you're going to have a few clowns out there. Well, for the most part, most people are going to impart some really good wisdom or a step in the right direction for you. Um, and join, like, if you see organizations putting on hunts or fishing trips, sign up for them. You know what I mean? Like, it is a great way. There's so many groups out there doing things. It's a great way to, gain that hands-on knowledge and experience in a safe-ish enough environment that you'll be able to say whether, I really do want to get into this or maybe it's not for me, or maybe I should try it one more time with a different group or whatever to really make up your mind.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not really a trade secret, but I would definitely say that's my advice to new hunters or
Trade
people who are
secret.
looking into, yeah, like looking into getting into hunting or fishing is put yourself out there, do the work when it comes to joining the groups, asking the questions, finding the organizations putting on and offering different events to sign up for.
Mm-hmm. Like yourself.
Yeah, I'm one of many. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
there's a few out there that, or yeah, reach out, and if I am not offering that certain thing, I'll definitely put you in the right direction to experience a reputable person to help you out with it. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, because you're based in Ontario. That's the other thing. We're
Mhm.
reaching all of Canada, and I forgot to mention that you are based in Ontario. So,
Yeah.
well, so thank you very much for this chat, everything. We are hitting that mark. You've been awesome. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your ideas, your values, your wisdom, everything. You are one of my personal favorite human beings ever.
Thank you.
I mean, I know I'm probably going to see you in the next couple weeks at some point. Because
Yeah, you live like 2 towns away or a town away, and I
a
hardly
town
see you.
away. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Well, and I also have to drop off your husband's winning from the first episode.
Yeah, what a lucky guy.
I know, right? Crazy. Um, so again, for our listeners, if you're in the Ontario area, Hanover area, but she also Lori-Anne does events again from Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, Lake Huron. If you follow Canadian Sportswoman Society on Facebook, Instagram, and then your website, is it just Canadian Sportswoman Society? Like if they Google that, they can bring them up to the website.
Yeah, it'll show up as Canadian Sportswoman Society.ca. There'll be a list of all of our events. Um, on there as well. So it'll be a really good way for them to reach out. They can subscribe to the website, and then they can obviously reach out anytime and either send me a personal message or reach out on Instagram with a DM. But yes, it's Canadian Sportswoman Society.
So that's for our listeners. If you are interested in that, whether you're female, male, there's co-ed events, there's all female events, reach out to the Canadian Sportswoman Society. If you can't attend the event, any of the events, Canadian Sportswoman Society will be at the Toronto Sportsman Show. So you'll be able to chit chat with Lori-Anne. I will actually be there helping at the booth. So we'll all be there to chit chat. And yeah, so thank you so much, Lori-Anne.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on. It was a great episode.
Yes, thank you. So tune in next time. I'm not sure which guest we're having, but there will be another guest in 2 weeks from now. Thank you, guys.